Here's a quick and easy example of how to prime an engine's oil system for any engine that does not have a, I guess like a distributor or an externally driven oil pump. In this particular case, we have a 6-liter Chevy LS LQ4 I just built for a customer slash friend. This also applies to Ford modular motors. In fact, sorry, this is when that actually is where I learned that, was working on a Ford overhead cam engine. So I guess like Faye and Danny had mentioned, you know, you need to find some sort of an outside source to basically externally prime the engine, etc. So in this particular case on an LS, this isn't the exact right fitting, so I just screwed this little brass fitting in hand tight. It's a 3/8 fitting, but this one's tapered down a little bit, so it will leak a little bit because I'm not going to hog on it. It's not going to hurt the block because it's brass. But anyhow, the idea is pretty simple. You just take an external transfer pump, something like this, like you would to fill your rear end or a manual gearbox, transmission, etc. Okay, right here. All right, you're just going to feed one end into your external oil source, in this case just some Mobil 1 motor oil. All right, you're going to pump it right in there into the engine. All right, and when you do that, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to get a hell of a workout because in this particular case, I literally had to basically do the equivalent of a stationary fly and squeeze in with my thighs to move the oil through this thing. So when you do this, you'll actually see a little bit of oil coming and running off the top of the rocker arms up here. So I just sealed this engine up yesterday finally, after I ensured everything was for the most part primed. It would be better, like they said, to have something you could pressurize, but at the same time you would want to kind of need to know your system's oil pressure, so you wouldn't want to use necessarily like an air compressor and, you know, put 100 and something psi of oil pressure in there, because you could blow a seal out or something. But you'll probably get 3 or 4 pounds out of this thing, maybe, just enough to get everywhere you need to get. But also when you do this, one of the good things is that it does have just enough pressure to where you can see if something is going to leak or not. In this particular case, the only leak that I had, it's not even really a leak, it's more like a seep, was right here where I threaded this adapter fitting into the block. So all I did was I got a 3/8 barbed fitting to come from the outlet of this transfer pump. So it's kind of long-winded, but anyhow, that's how this works. Oh, so any of you LS guys, I'm pretty sure there's videos on this already, but if anyone hasn't hinted on it, this external line right here on an LS, and I'm sure there's other engines like this too, right here, this goes to the oil cooler. So I just looped it out with a piece of hose right there. All right, hope you guys have a blessed day and stay safe. 8.2 for life.